It is the biggest, boldest expedition project I could come up with, basically. And it is called the Ultimate 7 Project. So this is my world first goal to journey from the lowest point in each continent to the highest entirely by human power.
Orbiting 250 miles above, the space station provides us with the ultimate view of planet Earth. From this perspective, we ask our guests to engage with 6 questions that orbit around wonder and stories of hopefulness. For the next few minutes, this is our Wonderspace.
Welcome to the 124th episode of the Wonderspace Podcast. My name is Steve Cole, and over the past 3 years, I have asked the same 6 questions to amazing people from around the world. Questions that orbit around wonder and stories of hopefulness. This week on Wonderspace, we orbit with Oli France, an adventurer, expedition leader, and fellow of the Royal Geographical Society. He is a specialist in leading groups through the world's wildest places, such as Iraq, Somalia, Congo and Siberia. In this Wonderspace orbit, Oli talks about his latest multi-year project, the Ultimate 7, a world-first quest to journey from the lowest point in each continent to the highest. A journey that will take him across jungles, deserts, polar ice caps, war-torn regions and mountains. With this expansive overview of Earth, I start by asking Oli, if we could do a fly past over any part of the world that is significant to you, which place, city or country would it be and why?
As an avid traveller, it's always hard to think of one specific place, but there is a place which was really pivotal in my life, particularly over the last few years, and this is Lake Baikal in Siberia. And it is the world's biggest, deepest lake. It is so big, in fact, that it contains around a third of the world's fresh water. So absolutely vast, 400 miles long, so the same distance as London to Edinburgh. And every winter, this lake freezes solid. And the patterns that form on the surface of this lake is this incredible blue ice filled with cracks and bubbles and spirals and all kinds of amazing things. And I just saw a picture of this lake about 5 years ago. And off that one picture decided I need to go to this place, whatever it takes. I need to go and see this in real life. And so fast forward a couple of years, I was there in March 2020. And I was doing a big solo expedition across the full length of the lake. And it was a big moment in my life in many ways. A few months earlier, I spent a week in hospital, been desperately ill. I'd picked up meningitis in Somalia, but that's another story. And so it was kind of a rebuild for me, and it was a big focus. And then, of course, it was in that time, being March 2020, when the world kind of flips upside down. But there I was in this amazing frozen landscape. And as it happened, while I was on that expedition, I received a phone call from my wife who told me she was pregnant with our first child. So it's a special place for various reasons. And yeah, anybody who's seen a picture of it or is interested, please go and have a look at Lake Baikal, because it is one of the most phenomenal places, landscapes on Earth.
Oli, give us a glimpse into your life story so far, with an emphasis on what you are doing currently.
So I grew up in Northern England and had this sort of, although I didn't know it at a young age, had this adventurous thread running through my life. So I was that kid in the classroom, always staring outside, always wanting to be outside and always having adventures with my friends. But really, it was only at the age of 17, 18 that I had a formal introduction into the outdoors, went rock climbing for the first time, and was just instantly addicted. And so that was really the start of my trajectory. I studied outdoor leadership at university. They encouraged us to travel a lot. So off I went in the summers, traveling around the world. And it's really just become my life pursuit since then. It's the only thing really, this line of adventure, that's ever given me true passion, true sort of endless joy and excitement. So I have built a career guiding people through really some of the world's most remote and hostile places. So places like Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Somalia, Congo, and doing lots of solo expeditions as well. But the big focus for me has always been really seeking out those most remarkable, most breathtaking corners of the world and having big adventures there. And that's pretty much been my life pursuit. And that kind of brings me neatly to what I'm doing right now. And this is a project which came to my mind about a decade ago. And for many, many years, spent time wondering if it's possible, really questioning it, thinking, no, it's probably not. No, it's probably crazy. But over recent years, I've decided to give it a go. And it is the biggest, boldest expedition project I could come up with, basically. And it is called the Ultimate 7 Project. So this is my world first goal to journey from the lowest point in each continent to the highest entirely by human power. So that is a journey across 7 continents. It's 7 separate expeditions, which will be a multi-year project. But all in, all things considered, it will take me through 20 countries, all imaginable landscapes from deserts to mountains to jungles to Arctic landscapes and oceans even. I will be traveling entirely by human power, on foot, by bike, rowing, on skis, and overall we'll be traveling around 13,000 miles by human power. So it's a very bold goal. I'm just back from the first leg in Africa. So that was a 5-week journey, 1,600 miles of cycling through extreme heat, 45 degrees at times, strong winds, some hostility as well with a bit of stone throwing and a few motorbike chases. But I made it to the end of that. It was a great journey, a crazy journey at times. But now I'm focusing on the next couple of legs, which I'll be launching into in early 2024. So this is a big vision. You know, it's a big project. I'm super excited about it. And, you know, it's kind of become my North Star now. So it is the direction I'm aiming in. And I think when you've got that in your life, you've got that North Star, something to really aim towards. But it is a journey which I'm looking to reach a wider audience with. And so already I've partnered with some amazing brands such as Canada Goose and Le Col, which is a premium British cycle clothing manufacturer, working with a couple of really exciting brands. And these are long-term partnerships that I'm looking to hone over the course of this project. I am indeed looking for more partners, more people to get involved. There are loads of great opportunities. I'm having some fantastic conversations now, whether that is just amazing branding opportunities. Already I've received some national press and news coverage, or if that is getting your employees involved in the organization, coming in, giving talks, or even joining me if you're particularly adventurous, joining me on certain legs of this journey. So if you are interested in hearing more, you can come and find me at Oli France across all of the social media platforms. And I'd love to connect with anybody who's interested in the project.
Where on earth is your place of reset or recharge?
Well, the place of recharge for me has always been the mountains. You know, it's always been the mountain environment. And, you know, I could give various examples, but really any mountains provide this same feeling for me. And I think what it is when you're in the mountains, there is just this sense, it's almost like staring up at the stars at night. There's this sense that you are very small and a very small cog in a, you know, an unbelievably vast and complex universe. And that is one of the beauties for me of spending time in the mountains. You sort of lose this sense of ego. And it's interesting. I was speaking to a friend about the other day who was describing ayahuasca in Peru, where people go and have this experience and have this thing called ego death. And I said, well, you know, it's a similar thing in the mountains in a way, because when you're in those environments, there is no space for ego. There's no sort of overpowering these forces of Mother Nature. So there's something quite humbling about being in that environment. And so for me, whenever I want to just relax my mind, I will go to the mountains. And being in that environment, I just find that the stresses and sort of ordinary issues in modern life just start to shrink away in the vastness of those landscapes. So it is the mountains for me that always are my place of reset.
What wonder of the natural world excites you the most?
Well, in the world of exploration, often we think about uncharted places as maybe the poles or the Himalayas or those remote mountain areas. One sort of specific field of exploration which I've always been interested in are these places in the world which are cut off due to maybe war or dictatorships or political regimes or things like this. But actually, once you can get through that sort of hoop, then you can find these amazing places which really see very few tourists. And one shining example of that is a place called Socotra. And this is kind of the place that brings me a lot of wonder in terms of the natural world. It's a Yemeni island. It's in the Red Sea. It is known as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. And so, we think of Yemen as this kind of war-torn country. But yet off its coast, you've got this pristine island. You've got unique flora